back to another episode of We Three Thieves, presented by Lexus, the official auto partner of 100 Thieves. Whoa! I did it. I've been choking through it. Okay. Well, I'm your host, Leslie. We have two special guests, first-timers, Fanfan and RayC.
Hi, guys.
What maybe a little, maybe you guys, I'm bad at intros. You guys want to intro yourselves or a little snippet about yourself? In case, I mean, you might, you know.
You want to start?
Yeah. Where am I supposed to? Hi, I'm Fiona. I'm a streamer.
She role plays a lot. She's on she's not slept since 2 p.m. yesterday.
Hi, I'm RayC. I'm a streamer as well on Twitch. I'm a cringe role player now with everyone else here.
What the hell? You two. That's why you're on that bench. The cringe role player sit over here.
You started before I did, though.
I did. But
Yeah,
I
you
think
were addicted first.
I was addicted first, but then I went through like a whole thing where I
tapered out a little bit.
Yeah, my mental went boom into the ground when I realized like my life around. I would like get off a role play session, end it, and then I would look around me, or I'd look around at my friends or like people, and they're like, "Where are you? Like, where have you been? We've lost you."
Los Santos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm like, I have a different life now. I just exist to like be April. Like that's what my body is, a vehicle for April Fools, and like I just wake up so I can play her.
I feel I care more about like my in-game business than I do about like my real life business, like my streaming. Like I'd rather give up streaming time in order to adhere to the business that I need to accomplish in game, which is like insane.
Yeah, that is actually pretty crazy.
But I'm waiting for my mental to go boom, and then
that's good. As long as it's good, then it's good. You know,
yeah.
I would say like ride it out while it's good. Yeah, for me, it's just like it goes in waves. It's not like this time. Also, okay, maybe some context. Sorry for people who don't play role play or GTA. Who wants to explain?
gtrp is essentially where you are like an actor who plays a character within the GTA city, no pixel. Definitely a great experience most of the time, but as I said, it comes in waves, right? So like you play a character, you build your storylines. It takes a lot of time and a lot of investment into whatever you're doing. Like Fiona was playing offline from like 2 p.m. yesterday. It is what, like 10 in the morning now? So.
Well, you've been playing that whole time?
No, I
okay,
did.
there you go.
I did go outside for half an hour yesterday.
Touching grass, let's go.
Actually, okay. It's much more immersive. Okay, you know when people say like the future is going to be like Ready Player One, you would put on the goggles and like you're in that world, and now people are right. This is what I actually think is the closest that I could envision the future being, or like when I explain it to anybody or like family members, they're like, "Wait, what?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you have like people RPing as like." They're working at a restaurant as police officers, as criminal, like they're role playing. When you actually play it, you're like, oh, this is like crazy. I'm like making friends. I'm making like real life friends. But then you have this layer of like, I don't know who they are as a person. Yeah. And sometimes they're completely different. And sometimes they're pretty similar. It becomes so immersive because you now like, these are the people you're spending every day with. Like you wake up and like, wait a minute. I do have my friends in real life, but like I wake up and
spend time with these people online, these fake people online.
Like 8 hours, 9 hours, and I was like, wait a minute. So then they're just my friends now, and like fundamentally, if you're getting along with their role play character, like you and that person, like are, out of character, OOC. Sorry, I don't know. But before we dive only into RP, I wanted to ask you guys. We have a couple like segments, and the first one is show and tell. So you guys were asked to bring an item.
We were asked to bring an item.
We were asked to bring an item.
Then
neither of us brought an item.
But maybe a photo of an item, or a photo of anything, or just something maybe from a trip you took.
Honestly, Leslie, I'm going to use your idea, which is just show the picture of the character. Because it's super important to me. It's something I do every single day.
Aww.
And this is something I done recently with like a professor course, which actually Leslie participated in. But this is the picture of the Raymond Romanov, the character during the Professor Fit.
Oh my God.
Why he kind of...
With the Professor Fit, so he's an older, like he's a Russian character. I actually use the Russian accent quite a bit. It kind of leaks into my real life too. So
it does.
It does.
Raymond Romanov, very Russian man. You know, like it leaks into my life. You know, and unfortunately, I can't do very much about it.
So weird.
But
it's actually so trippy.
I know it's trippy. So like it took years and years of like practice to get the voice down. And sometimes, obviously, if you're playing for like 10, 11 hours, you lose the accent.
Yeah.
How would you say your voice is? Like what do you do to your voice?
Mine is actually like my normal voice, but when I'm talking to like service workers in real life, it's like the polite, over exaggerated. You know, when you're trying to be there, you're like, or when you pick up the phone, you're like, hello. Yeah, that's my voice in game, but like all the time. This was a fan art made by it.
Showing our RP characters.
I do like that.
Isn't it really sick?
I love that.
I want to see.
It's
Whoa, the
my
besties.
group. Yeah, it's my
Wait,
group.
that's so cute.
And they
Crap, there's a lot of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love it because everyone's like all the relationships have been like everyone's next to the people they're closest with, which is really cute.
I brought, wow, mine is not role play related. For some reason, you guys are both like super smart. Like, I think so, right? You guys both are college educated geniuses, right?
I don't know about
thought
super smart.
No, you are. I Googled this. I brought my old biology notes.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually great.
I don't even remember most of this, but
Remember
Oh my
the class?
I brought
God.
like my old,
Finals week notebook.
yeah, so this is like about.
Oh God, I have PTSD.
Yeah, right? OChem, anybody?
Yes.
Okay.
Dude, look how many pages of OChem I have. I was just like,
I really, really like
Fun
OChem.
fact, Leslie and I have the same major.
we do.
Yes.
Which
Yeah.
is what?
Biology.
Yeah,
Yeah,
biology.
Stop. I majored in biochem.
What? Okay, so we're
That's
all,
why
we're
I
all
thought, I
nerds.
was like, I knew this because I was like, right? Wait, did you guys want to be like doctors?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Was that the, look at us.
No, I actually gave up on the doctor dream during my first semester of college because I took my first math exam. It was a math midterm and I got 40.
Out of
Oh.
100.
That's what everyone asked. Everyone was like, I posted on my Instagram story and everyone was like, out of what? And I was like, out of 100, bitch. Like 40%. I'm not cut out for this. Like I can't. I have to
But what about
pivot.
with the curve and like, you know,
no, with the
weighted?
curve and everything.
Oh, like it was a 40.
It was a 40.
okay.
And so I was like, no, I can't. Like I'm not cut out for this. I can't do this for the next 8 years, right? And so I pivoted.
But where did you go?
UC Berkeley.
See, she went to Berkeley, which is like the genius. Like I
True.
didn't even apply to Berkeley because my mom's like, let's save the 63 bucks. Like, let's be real, you're not going to Berkeley. So I was like, but I could dream and what about? So I actually, you know, I didn't apply, but I might have
True,
gone
you
there.
You might have
No,
gotten
But
it.
she actually went.
college is like, it's like getting into college is such bullshit because all it means is like you did well on tests in high school. Like it's such. It's
So you
pretty
did
bullshit.
really well in high school. You're like a.
On tests, yes.
you
I
did-
didn't like retain any information.
Yeah, I
But
know.
I did really well on tests. I'm a great test taker, but
It is really about that. That's
Yeah.
It's like how
So
some of the
just-
smartest people I know were like C, D students.
yeah.
It's just because I didn't know how to like take a test. Or,
Sure.
like,
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
but like they're like out here programming, self-taught,
Yeah.
making machines, laser beam. I'm like, oh, and they're like, yeah, I flunked out of college. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh.
And then
yeah.
I'm out here role playing.
Yeah, same.
So it's like it really doesn't
Same.
mean anything.
No, it really does.
Got
I'm
the full
like,
education, just role playing now.
I know. No, when I first started streaming, like I was like reluctant to do it because people would be. I suffered, right? We went through a lot of classes and a lot of memorization tests and stuff. I started like doing okay on streaming. I got like partnered, and then one of my mods is like, "Would you ever do this full time?" I was like, "God no." God,
better
but,
than- what?
I went to
Me?
college. I will not stoop to the levels of streamer. Please.
I'm gonna get a real
I was
job.
offended. I was like, no. Well, more so was my copium. I was like, I studied I studied so much. I'm not gonna have like, please say that wasn't for any like nothing. So I'm gonna use my degree essentially.
Yeah.
That's what I tell myself. So I was like, this is part time for fun, and then I'm gonna, you know, whatever on the side, teach, do something with my degree because I did not suffer for 7 years for nothing or whatever.
Yeah.
How many long? And then
Right.
eventually I was like, oh no, like I think I'm gonna.
I'm
have
in too
wasted it.
deep.
Yeah, I like this other thing. I
Yeah.
like gaming. And it's like doing okay, and I can pay my rent. I'm like, okay, I might actually just this might be. And then I felt comfort when I meet people who are like also they studied science or whatever, math degrees, masters even some people, and I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, you know what, this is fine. We're all just like figuring it out because no streamer
Yeah.
has like a path, right?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
was there ever a point where you guys were like, this is the time, I know I'm gonna become a streamer now? Like, did anything happen? You're like, okay, I'm going full time.
What was that for you?
For me, it was like the OTV Rust server. Like,
Dang.
the OTV Rust server was great. I got to meet so many cool people. I was teaching everyone how to play Rust, and then it kind of hit me. It was like the last year of college, COVID had hit, everything like that. Everyone was inside. I'm just gonna try this out like full time, and it just went so good after like the OTV Rust server
So
and then
you-
GTA. and-
Nice.
Before OTV Rust, you were not full time.
no, I wasn't. I just
Okay.
did it like
For fun.
part time. Yeah.
Okay, because you were primarily Rust. I remember you were like
Yeah, primarily Rust. Yeah.
Race. I remember in the OTV
Very
Rust server there was a lot
competitive,
of
sweaty gamer. Yeah.
yeah, like there was the Rust pros and it was RayC, HG, and there was like a bunch
Yeah.
of people, and I'm like, he's one of them. And
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
wait, really?
Rust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my. Okay, so
When was this?
Okay, oh my God. So after 2.0 in GTA, not that I played 2.0, but there was this lull during COVID. Among Us was slowly dying. No one had any games to play, and
Oh,
Abe
okay.
started this Rust server. Abe and John, they like opened up this Rust server and invited like a bunch of people. And
Was this like end of 2020?
yeah, it started in
Yeah.
2021.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah, that's when I first started streaming.
Oh my God.
And then
okay.
so I think I like vaguely
You
remember
probably
this
it was like an
happening.
era where you probably saw every single person playing Rust. Like it was just
It was all Rust.
so
Okay,
many.
yeah,
It was
I-
like
I remember
Yeah,
now.
so that became like the meta for like a couple months maybe, or maybe a month, but it felt like forever. But
Yeah.
that's when you had. I remember T-Pain was on the server. Bretman Rock was on the server.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Shroud. It was the wildest thing. Like I couldn't believe. Like anyway, so like Ray, a lot of people like look to a lot of the pros to play to teach them, and Ray was what there's like 4 or 5 or 6 people who were like real like Rust mains who like basically handheld us through Rust and like taught us to ride a helicopter and
Whoa.
it was like people formed like a lot of role players because you had a lot of role players from NoPixel. They brought a lot of like role play to the server, so people
was
were
great.
So fun.
were being like role playing for the first time, and then that's how they recruited a lot of people for 3.0. Like I remember,
What?
yeah.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, and so Garrett, that's how I started playing, is because there was a Garrett. Yes, and he messaged me after, and he's like, hey, like, I know Rust is over and stuff, but if you are interested in role playing, 3.0 is coming out, and we'd love to have you. And I was like, role play?
Oh, cringe.
I remember watching 2.0. I remember seeing like Eugene and this girl named Brenda, the receptionist played by Ashlyn, and I remember watching it like, what I was like, how is this driving? Like, isn't Grand Theft Auto about car stealing? So I never played GTA at all. So I was like, what are they doing? Like like she's pretending to be a receptionist right now. So I was like, but then I was thinking like, I could never role play like that. That
Yeah.
is like, that is so like, I'm not an actor. I don't do that. I'm me. I'm like, oh God. So I was like, oh wow, I wish I could have the courage to do that. That's really cool. And then finally, I think Saikuno and Ray started, and I'm like, okay, maybe I don't have to be perfect. Maybe I can just give it a
Yeah.
go. And so then, but I had already, sorry, back to the question. I had already been a full-time since 2016. So,
Oh,
sorry,
nice.
we weren't talking about me. We're talking about you. So sorry.
No, I like listening to this though.
I like the story. Honestly,
lore.
I'm loving this.
I missed out on all this lore.
Yeah.
Okay, but what about you? You came in when?
Me, I started streaming end of 2020, so it was probably like during all this Rust stuff.
Okay.
And I remember, like, it's coming back to me because I remember this was happening. I was like, whoa, look at all these big streamers playing Rust. And then that's when I realized I had a VAC ban on Rust. And so, like, I remember back then joking because I had, like, maybe, like, 20 viewers at the time. And I was like, oh, yeah, they invited me. I can't play because I'm VAC banned. But, like,
But they
everyone was,
invited
like,
me.
begging me to join. Just for the record, nobody knew me. Nobody invited me. But I was just, like, joking at the time. But to answer the original question of like the full-time thing, I was still in school at the time, but I think the day I decided I wanted to be a full-time streamer was 1 month into streaming. Like on my 1 month anniversary, I got 1,000 followers, and I was like, oh my God. And then I was like, I want to be a full-time streamer.
That's crazy.
Aw.
And so I had to talk to my mom about it because I was going to go to grad school, and I was like, hey Mom, I don't want to go to grad school anymore. And she was like, okay.
What were you gonna go to grad school for?
Psychology. That
Okay.
was my pivot from being a doctor.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was the pivot. But yeah, my mom's always been supportive. She was my first sub when I got affiliated, which was really
Aw,
nice.
That's
We
so
just-
sweet.
Yeah, we just had like a long conversation. She was like, if you're gonna do this, like this is like life shit. Like if you're gonna not go to grad school, this is like real life shit. So like you better not half-ass it. And I was like, I'm not gonna half-ass being a D-gen. Like this is I was born for this. I was born for this. Yeah,
Actually
please,
true.
Mom.
Yeah.
And so that's how
And
that's
that was
when I realized.
what time? Like 2022?
2020, like one?
Okay, 20.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah, you said 2020 or 2016.
I'm old.
And then
okay?
I
I'm
started
old.
streaming in 2015.
No, I really wish I started earlier. I feel so left out.
If you started in 2015, how old would you have been though? Because
15?
Yeah.
Okay,
Like,
no, maybe it would have been bad.
Like-
But I just feel so left out.
no, I think that's like you're just like it's like the new generation coming in. That's how I kind of view it. Like I've been around. I'm gonna hit 10 years in February. So in a 9 month, 10 months. But like I've literally been. We started the same year, right? That's forever ago.
Yeah.
Like forever. And like they didn't have Prime subs or.
Oh, there's no Prime subs.
Whoa.
No gifted. It was
No
all
gifted.
about if I remember I had like a viewer and his name was Can I Have Your Snapchat? Shout out Sean. He's really cool. He would gift me he'd make a second account. Can I have your Snapchat 2? Can I have your Snapchat 3?
Oh
Can I have
my
your Snapchat
God.
4, 5, 6, 7? And then he'd have to make a new account to sub, and that was the equivalent of like gifting subs. And I
Whoa.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
and I remember I had a sub goal of 3 every day. And I was like, if I can hit 3 subs, I will have that will be a banger of a stream.
Yeah.
And it would be a little sub goal, and I was like,
so cute.
Yeah, you remember it.
No, I think it's so crazy how, okay, I don't know if you guys went through the same thing, but like when I first started, I would mentally have like goals of average viewership. And every single time I'd be like, okay, from now on, like if I can average 100 viewers for the rest of my life, I'll be satisfied and and then I get 100, I'm like 200, and like 500, get to 500, 1,000, and then I'm never satisfied. But then I think now I'm more satisfied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will never, I just had this talk like 2-3 days ago about that like exact thing. I have it written in a notebook when I first started, and I remember being so embarrassed to write it down, but I was like, if I ever reach 500 concurrent viewers, like I will have made it. And I'm like, I will, like, I literally was like, oh my God. And I even remember writing 500. I was like, okay, I hope no one ever sees this. Cause like, I had like 50. And I was like, being a 500 viewer streamer is like, okay, those are like the big guys. But I will manifest my future. Cause if I ever hit that number, I'm done, made it. And like, I'm happy.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I have that on a piece of paper, and like, I remember just like I was on an airplane writing it, and I had a 8x11 white piece of paper. I was drawing out my OBS overlay, and I was like, I'll have my subs here, and I'll have chat here, and I like put it away in my journal. I was like, whew, no one's gonna see it. And I wrote my streaming goals and stuff. And yeah, and then you hit 500, and then you're like, well, that's sick, but like, you know those streamers that have 1,000 viewers? Oh my God, like I could be that. Crazy. Imagine if I'm like a 1K Andy though.
Yeah. That's how it is.
That is how it is, honestly.
It is, and then you hit, and then but then what humbles you is, and you hit those peaks, and then you dip, and you're like, okay, I fell off. I don't care anymore. I don't care. I'm over it. Yeah, the fall off, and then you get humbled, and then you realize, you know what, I can't let my happiness be dictated by this up down that I cannot control, because now I have no control over my own emotion.
Yeah.
So once you get like to a numb point where you're just like, whatever.
We're just
and
cruising.
Like, we're cruising, and like some days it's great, and you're like, way cool, and sometimes like, okay, well, maybe I wasn't, but it's not going to affect you to that extent. Or sometimes you're hormonal and it does hit you, and you're like, I'm going to quit because I'm boring and nobody watches me anymore.
Yeah,
I've been ready for this, and I'm retiring. And but that's like if low viewership matches
it coincides with the PMS.
Yeah, it coincides with PMS, and then the hormones, and then it's like 2 times 2 equals 20, and you go, and then you tell all your friends you're retiring.
Did you say 2 times 2 equals 20?
Oh, I meant like a 1 + 1 = 4 situation.
Oh, okay.
Like,
okay.
Well, like actually, I did the math. It's 4. But I'm saying, like, it's like one of those where it's like the bad and the bad is like together. It's like so bad.
Yeah.
Thank you for the show and tell segment, guys.
Great show and tell segment.
Fantastic. I mean, this is what always happens. We're like, what?
You start yapping.
We are yappers. The next segment. Sorry, I'm like a terrible seguer, and I'm learning that from being forced to segue. And I thought I was really good at it, but I'm actually really bad at it. You guys nodding.
You're not.
I'm not bad at segueing?
No.
Okay, well, our next segment is called Context to Your Contact. Genius, I know. You basically take your phone or whatever, and anywhere you have contacts, like maybe your phone, your Discord, or your like contact book. It'd be crazy if we pulled it out in GTA and we scrolled through our contacts in GTA.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I don't know. I got so excited. That sounds so fun. That actually sounds really.
More excited about GTA than in real life.
So many people that we don't know.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I actually scrolled to the top.
Stop. I don't
There's
have
no
anybody.
way.
I don't have anybody.
I landed on Shoto.
Oh, okay.
I landed on Fanfan Slaves. It's a group chat. Wait, that doesn't make it better.
That does not.
No. It's my editors. They're my editors.
That's insane.
That is so funny. I love how
I
you're
didn't name the group. Oh, they named it?
Yeah, they named it.
They named it.
Okay. Do you want me to start? Wait,
Yeah,
what
you
am I
start.
supposed to say about this person?
Oh, well, just like, how do you know him?
I think I met him through maybe Among Us, the Among Us days, and like I used to do a lot of lobbies actually with Leslie, where we hosted a bunch of games and we invited people. I think Shoto was in those, but also he joined gtrp, and he's been playing a lot of Pixel recently too.
He's a degenerate
He's a degenerate as well. He plays Timmy.
He's always
right, Timothy?
offline.
Timothy.
Offline
He's
grind.
yeah.
That's when I always bump into him, when we're both offline grinding. It's really awkward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, because like, do you roleplay at that point?
Yeah, we're just like, I'm like, hi, and he's like, are your
eyes
open?
open?
And I was like, no. Are yours? He's like, no.
The eyes open is so funny.
Yeah, that means like, are you streaming? If your eyes are open or closed.
Yeah. We're both just like, no, we're just a bunch of degenerates.
It's like, all right, anyway, you drop the voice.
We're just like
Hey,
solo,
Shoto,
solo
what's up?
grinding alone.
Yeah.
Okay, the group name is Fanfan Slaves, but I didn't name it. I would just like to point that out. My editors named it. It's a group chat for me and my YouTube editors. Yep, that's how I know them.
Check out our YouTube.
Yep. One of them I've been working with since like my very first video, which is pretty cool. His
that's
name's
awesome.
Space Boys.
Space Boys.
It's been with me since the start.
That's really wholesome.
I still work with my graphic designer from 7 or 8 years ago. He still does everything for me.
Whoa.
Really?
He's my one editor.
How many people do you
I know
have?
my
Do you have like a team?
Yeah.
How many people on the team?
I think I have 2 full editors, one TikTok, one YouTube, and then the graphic designer, who also is like my engineer, my website designer, everything. He does
So
everything.
you're the boss.
Yeah. It's really cool. I don't have a manager, or I only have agents.
Sheesh.
What about you guys?
What for what? Editors?
Just managers, editors, stuff like that.
I don't have a manager. I have an agent, and then I have an editor who is he's the head editor who then he's like basically writes out a schedule, and then he assigns the other editors like,
Oh, I like that. That's dope.
here's the videos you're gonna do, and then he organizes their schedule and manages and basically tells me, hey, here's the content you should be doing more of. Less GTRP, please.
Oh my God, I'm
Can't
getting
turn
this.
that into YouTube videos. And I'm like,
That's the conversation I just had in Fanfan Slaves.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like,
Less
love it,
GTRP,
love that
please.
you're loving it, but give me some variety.
We need some more content.
Something where you're you. And I'm like,
Yeah, they're like, nobody wants to watch this.
yeah, it's great for viewers, but and people are really engaged in chat and everything. But it does not translate well over to a singular YouTube video because you can't like give context to like what you're doing a lot of the times or like set that unless you are like have a very specific mission that day and you're like today in GTA roleplay I'm gonna do but like I don't do that. So I try to like mix in a little variety podcast or whatever, great, and then they can get clips from this and that. So.
Yeah.
My mom is my contact.
Your mom is your contact.
Oh, there's my ex too.
Oh.
And Myth, okay. Because I'm in the M's. Mommy, Movers, Mrs. Cortez, My Little Wax Bar. Waxing, okay. Sorry. And
I love that.
yeah, and Mikey, who's my ex. Who do you guys want to hear about?
Kind of want to hear about Mikey.
Okay, Mikey.
Is there tea?
There is tea, actually. He was like the most little perfect boyfriend I had many years ago. I met him when I was like deeply insecure in high school. And I was so insecure, like how I looked, that I couldn't even like look at a guy in the eyes. Like I could not make eye contact for a second because I was like, they're gonna look into my soul and they're looking at my face. I'm like, yikes, she's like really ugly, right? So I would be really insecure. One day in AP Gov, sat down, and there's one seat behind me, the only seat that was open, and he runs in late to class, and he has to sit behind me because so it's like free seating before that.
Right.
He sits behind me. Anyway, so I start passing papers back, and then like I pass my paper back, and then he literally was like, hey, and I was like, what? He's like, you have really pretty eyes.
Oh my
And I was
Oh.
like, stop. I was like, what? And I was like, oh my God. And I was like, thank you. And I was like, oh my God, and also he's like a popular boy. Like he's like one of the cool kids. He's an athlete, super cute. And I was just like, what? Like I could, and then he started like, dude, I could not believe it. And then so, he's a massive flirt, okay? But I didn't realize this. I thought I was special and stuff. So slowly he's like, you want to study together and all this stuff? And I was like, okay. And so we started studying together. And then I remember it was kind of like forbidden love because he had like all these girls he was like seeing, and they were like, not like dating, but like, kind of like with, and they were like, who's that girl? Like, why? Like, she's not one of us. Like, they're all like the cooler girls. And I'm just like, I wasn't like a reject or anything, but I was like in choir and stuff. So I was like, anyways, he's like, no, we're gonna date. And I was like, really? And I was like, well, he's like, I promise we're gonna date. I just need to figure out some stuff with, them so they don't get pissed. And I was like, oh my God. So I was like basically promised like eventually I'd be his girlfriend. And I was so excited. I remember it was like January 2010. I got my braces off and stuff, and then he like asked me to be his girlfriend, and I remember people were like, what? Like, why would they be together? People from my friend group were like, are you gonna leave us for the popular kids? And then the popular girls were like, ew, why her? And then we kind of formed our own friend group, like some people, the girls from my group, and then some guys from his, and then we had like this little tight knit group.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. So and we were like, semi cool, like because we brought like the not cool side, and then he brought like the cool cool side. And then so we were kind of cool. And then we went to college together. I picked UC Irvine because of him.
Oh my God.
And people were like, never pick your college because of your boyfriend. I was like, I'm not, okay? But I was.
I want to go there.
Yeah, I do. It's a beautiful campus, which it is. But I definitely was like, like maybe I shouldn't. But we did pick college because of each other a little bit. We broke up in the first like month of college because he started flirting with like girls in his hall. And I remember the girls in his hall, one of them called me a never met me, but I looked at his phone and it said like, when are you going to bring that over for us to meet or whatever? And I was like, what the who says that?
God.
And I was like, what? And he's like, I was like, why are you letting them talk about me like that? And he's like, oh, that's just how she is. Like, she's just kind of like, she just doesn't mean
Yeah, she's
like,
is what
but
she
yeah,
is.
but
What?
like, she doesn't, like, she doesn't know me. And like, I
Yeah.
don't feel comfortable. Like, I don't know them. And then the Sigma Pi party. So we get into this.
No, not the
We get into this
frat party.
We get into this big fight. He's rushing this fraternity called Sigma Pi, which is like known to be the fraternity at that school.
Right.
And I was rushing another sorority. So I was with my sorority sister, and she's like, hey, do you want to go to like that Sigma Pi party tonight? And I was like, oh, let me see if like my boyfriend's gonna go. And so I asked him, he's like, nah, like I'm not going. And I was like, well, then I'm not gonna go. And he's like, okay, yeah, like let's just not go. So I was like,
and then
okay.
he go.
So then I was like,
no.
well, I was like, okay, Patty, you know what? Maybe we'll just go. He's not gonna go, but we can go socialize. So I get on the bus, okay, and I find out, I see him, and he not only went, he brought 3 girls from his dorm. 3! And like they were all really pretty, and one of them was the girl that called me the B word. Okay, anyway, so then I was like, I was devastated. I was like mad, and then I drank a little bit, and then I remember going to the party, and all these girls were like, I was just livid, so I was kind of causing a scene. I remember being in the bathroom at the end of the night, and I was looking in the mirror, and I was looking at him, and I was like, how could you do this? You know, like, I don't understand. Why would you lie to me? And he's like, I don't know what to say. Like, I'm really sorry, right? And I was just like, and I was sobbing. And then I look at myself and I look crazy. Like my eyes are like, I have crazy eyes. And then I start laughing and I'm like hysterically laughing and he's just quiet. And I was like, oh my God, like I'm crazy. I look crazy. But I was like, I sound crazy and I look crazy, but I'm not the crazy one. I had to like justify myself and I was like, you did this. You brought other people, you lied to me, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, we broke up. 1 month later, we got back together, dated for like 3 years. I became best friend. 3 years? Yeah.
What?
Wait. Yeah, 3 more years. I got back to, and I became best friends with that girl. Okay, best friends. And then we broke up, and she was my best friend at the time. We broke up, and she ghosts me, doesn't say a word.
No.
And then I find out
No.
on social media, they're dating.
No! It's actually a movie. This is crazy.
And oh my God, I couldn't go on social media. I couldn't, every time I'd scroll my Instagram, I'd see them together in the hot tub or something, and I'm like,
Oh my God, that
No.
pisses me off.
so I wouldn't go to I'd go to lecture with no makeup on because I would just burst into tears randomly. And my friends are like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No," and I'd cry. I had really bad UTI at the time too, so I was like going through it. I was like basically wearing a diaper, no makeup. It was bad. And then yeah, I hope he's happy now or whatever.
Oh my God, wait,
Yeah.
please tell me they didn't stay together though.
They didn't stay together.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good,
yeah.
I'm glad.
But they're both I think like really successful and stuff. I'm happy for them. Karma didn't get him. I wish the
Darn
best
it.
for them. I actually am so over it.
So good.
I'm so over it, but I really wish.
It's funny to talk about now.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Like I actually like if you were to be like surprise, I brought your ex and they walked through the
You'd
door
be like,
now,
what
I'd
the
be
hell?
like, wow.
That's crazy.
And we talk about it. Like I actually don't wish anything bad on them. It just makes for a crazy story. And at the time I was
Yeah.
devistated.
No, okay, okay. Since you were talking about
Yeah.
crazy exes, or like
Yeah, yeah.
you being crazy over an ex,
Yeah.
I feel like I should contribute to the story because I can make you feel a little less crazy.
sane.
But then once again, warranted, right?
Warranted.
So like my first boyfriend, it just made me go absolutely insane. So just a TLDR on what happened, pretty much. He cheated on me 4 times. Once with an escort that he was selling to. Her name was Kat.
Wow.
Wow.
That's not the segue I expected.
Yes. Second thing, he sold my nudes online to strangers on Kickfriender,
Oh my
which
God.
I found out about because
he's
some
like a
strange,
criminal.
yeah, like some
Is he in
strange.
jail? Oh, sorry.
I don't know, but like some stranger man online DM'd me on Facebook and was like, "Is this you?" Sends me a picture of my, and I was like, yes. Like, I've only ever sent this to one person before. But not only that, he was also selling pictures of his friends' girlfriends online, like, pretending to be them. Like, he would have, like,
your ex-boyfriend was sending pictures of
his friends' girlfriends.
Okay.
And so
Awful.
it was like a huge thing. He had like 20-something different Kik accounts in group chats with like one random guy, and he was like 5 different girls with this one. I could not understand it.
So how did you find this out?
So I found out because I found this like hidden photo album. It was like the icon was a calculator on his phone. But then you click into it and it's a photo album, secret photo album of like a bunch of girls' pictures.
So why'd you click the calculator and just like want to do like a little math, 2 + 2?
No, because I was digging.
Oh, you were digging.
I was crazy, right? Because I was like, he's talking to, he always goes in the bathroom for like 2 hours at a time. Don't know what he says he's taking a shit. No one, I for 45 minutes, not 2.5 hours,
yeah, that's
Also, like, at this time, I was like, it was like first boyfriend, 18, 19. I should have broken up with him. I didn't because I'm dumb. I went so insane. I found this software on my MacBook. I downloaded this software. I don't remember what it's called, but I don't even know how I figured this out. But I would connect his phone to my MacBook. I would extract everything, and I could see his cleared Safari history, his cleared messages, his cleared Instagram DMs. I don't know how, but I found all of this out through doing that. Anyway, he ended up being the one to break up with me.
No! Dude.
What?
Okay, so he sounds like an actual criminal, like literal, like Jesus.
Last I heard from him was actually, so like 5 years ago, last year, I was at the DMV in Canada, and then some guy was sitting next to me. He was like, "Are you Fiona?" And I was like, "Oh, it's a fan." But then he was like, do you know Neil? And I was like, like my ex-boyfriend. And I was like, yes. And he was like, oh yeah, like, he picked me up once when you were in the car like 5 years ago. And I was like, what the hell? Like, what happened to him? And he was like, he stole $1,000 from me.
Oh my God. So,
and I was like, oh, great. Sorry for that.
So was there like anything?
I have no idea what happened to him.
Damn.
Like, no clue. We're not in contact. Haven't talked to him since 2019.
Honestly, probably for the best.
For the best. For the
Yeah.
best.
I haven't heard of him in
awful.
a long ass time. I don't know if he's dead.
Wow, the crazy ex stories.
And your crazy ex story or nah?
I don't have any crazy ex stories.
Damn,
What?
me too.
All of my
Recently?
relationships ended amicably. Like, there was no issues. Never had a crazy ex.
Wait, wow.
Yeah, I don't.
Happy for you.
I
Happy
never-
for you.
Yeah, I've had two exes. Both did not end amicably.
Like if you saw them, it'd be like a run the other way type of situation.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, I have some bad exes, huh? Or only 2, I guess. But my last ex, we ended amicably.
Yay.
8 months after the breakup, he was actually logged into my Apple and reading through all of my text messages.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's-
That's a little
He
much.
revealed to me. Like, he willingly gave that
Wild.
information, and I was like, "What?" Well, I was like, "I don't understand. What are you doing?"
Just said like I read through everything.
Yeah, he was like, "I've been reading everything. I know you've been talking to," and I was like, "Okay, but we're broken up." So,
Just
I don't comprehend.
invasion of privacy,
Yeah.
please. I would be like,
That's
wait, what have I
wild.
sent? Like, I don't know.
yeah, I don't know.
Sometimes you be sending some stuff. Wow. Well, thank you
Yeah.
so much for that. What was that? What segment are we on?
What segment was that supposed to be?
Context your
Oh,
context.
right.
Yeah, we were actually on topic.
And our final segment. You see how these always go really long because we just rant. It then becomes we
just start yapping.
We talk about our exes. We talk about whatever. Okay. YouTube. Charlamore5483 from YouTube asked, for RayC and Fanfan, what's your favorite song that's come from NoPixel? Why don't I get to answer that?
Oh my God.
Fine. I'll keep my opinions to myself.
Wait, I want to know yours.
Southside, Fanny. right
Really?
here. Yes.
Wait, yeah, I was about to say the Southside song is amazing.
Really?
Dude, it's
Yeah,
so
probably one of my favorite
good.
songs. My 2 favorite
those
artists
nice and little
in
songs.
NoPixel right now are actually the 2 girls here. Like
Really?
Southside and also April Fool's songs, like were top notch. Like they're produced so well, especially like the remix he did recently.
Oh, thank you so
That's
much.
really good.
That was fun.
My original favorite one wasn't my current favorite one, but my current favorite one is your remix to If You're Broke, I'm Busy.
You better treat me.
I really like the remix.
Oh, I
Yeah.
feel like it fits
like
the
a-
vibe of the song a lot more.
Yeah.
than the
Yeah, it's
original.
a lot more vibey.
Yeah, right. The first one, like it's slower. The lyrics, like it works but it's like the song feels like it should be faster. So I'm like, oh my god, the remake sounds like it should have been this the original time.
Yeah.
My in-game character, like they knew for her birthday, like we're surprising you with fan, like because I'm like, because I literally like would play it and like because my character is boy crazy and she loves to dance and like she's a romantic. She wants to like date all the rich men or whatever. But she would before prom, she would like listen to Southside and like dream about slow dancing with like to the song. So I told everyone, I was like, when Southside comes on, meet me at the middle of the dance floor. And they're like, oh, okay. So and then like, is this the song? I'm like, oh, that's too many of you.
It's so cute.
It's all problems.
Okay. J404 asks, who is the funniest No Pixel 4.0 character?
I would say Jamal, hands down.
Jamal, lockpick guy.
Yeah, lockpick guy.
Jamal is so funny.
I can't, he made me cry, like from laughing.
From laughing?
Just from existing. He didn't even like tell a joke or anything. He was just existing. I was just dying.
I need to interact with him more. I don't know him
Yeah,
that well.
he's
We had,
dumb.
like, a call with him.
I would honestly say Jamal is probably one of the funniest. Like, he just knows when to break character in the funniest ways.
Yeah.
He knows when to like how to bounce off other people and like in comedy.
Oh my god, one of the first times that I actually like died laughing at Jamal was we were at the casino and like Marty's little makeshift casino.
Yeah.
And then Jamal was offline, like he was not streaming. We drive away to the bank. This was like it had been like 10 minutes since we last saw Jamal, and I pull up in the bank and Jamal is yelling by himself at the NPC. And he's just yelling he's like arguing with the NPC on his own with nobody watching. And I'm like,
that's immersion. That's
Yeah.
what is this?
That's so funny.
Yeah. I'm like,
I've only
that's just
seen
what he
Jaeger do
does.
that. You know Jaeger?
Yeah,
Like,
of course.
Yeah, he's
It's
very funny
crazy.
too. Yeah.
Recently, I've been really like the person who makes my character laugh is Pigeon.
Pigeon
Pigeon's
is
funny.
so funny.
Dude, I didn't know Pigeon was funny. Like, I've known him since 3.0, but he's somebody that, like, my character only knew because he had introduced my in-game son, Lil Bleach, to the concept of a glory hole. So I was, like, really mad at him. I was like, you corrupted my son. Like, screw you. And he's like, I'm so sorry, you know. And I was like,
voice.
you know, like, back up, you know, like, and I would always just, like, come at him. But, like, we never actually, like, talked. And then this time around, he's like April's confidant, like about if she's in this relationship that she is only in it for money with Murphy, and Murphy and her are going at it, and like he's like, I love you, and she's like, I love you too, and then she calls Pigeon. Oh my god, I said it. What do I do? I'm screwed, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, April. You know, he's like, let me, you know, there's 2 paths, you know, here's his planet, right? And he just has these elaborate plans. And she's like, right. Or like, she was debating who to go to prom with. She's like, I'm about to meet up with Murphy. He's going to ask me to prom. And he's like, but do you really want to go with him? Do you really, when you look at yourself, like, and you ask yourself, honestly, who do I want to go to the prom with? Is that Murphy Braun? And I'm like, oh my god, you're right. And he basically is like he manifests like all of my chat's thoughts. His just character has been such a blast to interact with, and I literally die laughing when he's just like talking, and then I watch his stream and he's like witch cackling like at everything he says. I don't even realize like he's silent from my end, and then I go back on his stream and I'm like, this guy was like after everything he says. So I just enjoy his humor, and so I'd love to talk to Jamal more. I hear he's really funny, and then like my whole chat's like, Jamal lockpick all this stuff, and I'm like, I don't know him.
I need to talk to Pigeon more.
Yes.
Yeah, Pigeon's great too. Yeah.
He's so
funny.
happy whenever I talk to him, but I just don't
Have enough like
there aren't enough connections.
right, like arcs, like sometimes there's a character I really want to like RP with, but I'm like, it doesn't make that much sense to like roleplay with them. Or I notice like sometimes someone will make a character and I don't vibe with that character, but the second they hop on a different character, it makes way more sense, and all of a sudden we're like calling back and forth, and so sometimes I'm like, there's like a whole nother side that I like role play.
It's kind of like the 3 of us too.
Yeah,
like,
no,
it wouldn't really make sense for us to like
role play in character all the time.
Yeah, all the
like,
time, you know.
It would make no sense if I just woke up and like, hey, you guys want to
Let's
go
hang
like
out.
yeah, and,
3 of
we
us,
just
just
hop
3
in.
of us.
Crime, go hang
Right,
out,
it would
whatever.
we don't have that many overlapping stories, characters, or like we have a couple mutuals, right? But like that's
even though like we're still friends in
real life,
in real life,
True.
obviously.
It's like the events that bring people together mostly.
Yeah, it is.
TalentTech892 says, what's your biggest regret about being a streamer?
Ooh.
Wow.
Honestly,
End on regrets.
So
Happy note.
I could start with it because I thought about that recently. Streaming actually, and like being a content creator, really feeds into like you said earlier, like the DGen lifestyle. like you really, really gotta like be around all the time. Even when you're off stream, even when you're not making content, you always have to be thinking about like what you want to be doing when you're making the content. So like almost like 95% of my life is like, oh my God, I'm like, what am I doing for content? What am I streaming? Like, what am I doing with that? Like, and most people who like work, they probably just like, they go home and they like relax, stuff like that. It's different. It's all different, you know, like.
Yeah. There's no like.
That content
off,
brain is real. Like
there's
it's
no
actually
off
real.
button.
There's no off button for it.
Yeah. I feel like it's hard. It's really hard to take that official break. Even when you're like on a break, you feel like guilt. Like I'm going to Coachella tomorrow and I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna feel guilty.
Oh, the guilt, yeah.
Yeah, the guilt eats at you. So I feel like, I guess it's not really a regret about being a streamer. It's more like a downside that is like, oh, I wish I could fully take that break. Or if I'm going to Japan with my parents in May and I know like I'm just gonna have anxiety like about not being live or like missing out on events or like, and I wish I could just like just be in Japan and like love every second. But like there's always that voice that's eating at you that's like, well, what are your friends doing? What are you not playing? Like, oh, wow, there's this big No Pixel event and you're not part of it. And your name's being brought up. Like, where is she? Like, and you're just like, I'm in Japan in real life trying to enjoy my life. And I'm like thinking about my role play.
Yeah.
Like,
think about your roleplay life all the time. It's so
brain rot.
funny.
Like, you know, like that thing you lose, that is just one of those things like, and you can't really shake that thought. Like, you can suppress it a bit, like, and then you feel guilt about feeling guilt, and then you're like, oh my God, why do I feel that way? Like, can I just enjoy this for a second? And then
it is a cycle.
Yeah.
I would say my biggest regret, I guess, is the first. I mean, okay, it's like kind of a regret, but at the same time, I know that the progression was probably pretty natural. I just regretted not being satisfied with just like being too caught up with numbers.
Oh,
because there was this this like year and a half during my streaming career where I just streamed like all IRL, like travel, like phone streams, which I absolutely despise. Like I hated it so much. I hated it so much I wanted to quit streaming. I was like, I'm gonna go back to school, like this. The reason why I did it for so long is because like I saw the numbers going up, and I was like, as soon as I go back to PC, my numbers drop like 2/3. And I was like, I can't emotionally handle dropping that much. But then there's just this one breaking point where I was like, if I don't stop IRL, if I don't switch to PC, I'm just gonna quit. So I might as well just tank the numbers. But then ever since then, that was February of last year, where I switched completely to PC, and I've been like so happy the past year.
You're a degenerate. You gotta.
I just
like,
had to embrace it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to go outside. I don't want to travel. I don't want to do anything. I just want to be on my PC. I want to play games. Doesn't matter how many viewers I get. I just want to play and like do what makes me happy. And then it's been so much better. But I guess I could have been happier.
Yeah.
Long ago, I guess.
What was something you just didn't like about IRL streaming?
I just don't like. It's just not in my nature to.
Just go out.
Go out and like
interaction
explore,
with strangers,
like
a
talk
lot
to
of tiring.
strangers,
yapping the entire thing. Like, you know, if you got and
like
you're
walking around.
like you have to say something about everything.
True.
You know,
I have to like find interesting things to do. I think like my favorite IRL streams were when I got too tired, so I just sat down on a bench and like talked to chat.
Oh,
yeah, which
Those
is
are,
like
like,
might as well be on a PC.
Might as well be on a
Yeah.
PC, exactly.
I was an IRL streamer for a little bit in 2018 too, and I fought all the time. Well, me and my ex would go to like the farmer's market and stream the farmer's market, and it was like a tradition. But every single time, IRL would just bring up all these issues, like whose channel? Oh, we're late. Oh my God, the sun. It's not raining. What do we do instead? The connection on the backpack's not good. What do we do?
God.
Blah blah. It's
Yeah.
effing. Oh my God, was chat? Hi, are you there? Like, oh my goodness, I just would be just so stressed out every time, and like I would try, but I was like, okay, now we're gonna go to Korea and do IRL streams. We're gonna go here and do IRL streams, and also just back then I was like, it affected my relationship because I was at Disneyland one time. We were going to go on this ride. It was at the end of the day, soaring around the world, and I'm inline. It's my favorite ride. And he's like, hey, we're gonna lose connection though if we go in. And I was like, well, then let's just end the stream. And I'm like, I really want to ride the ride, please. And then he's like, yeah, but like, I think we should keep it going for the viewers. And I was like, no, like, can't we be streaming 5 hours? Like, and he really wanted to keep going and I really didn't. And then I was staring at the backpack camera and he starts mouthing at me because it gets kind of tense. And he's like, cut the basically, like, can we just like go? And I was like, I was like, this is so unfair. My expressions are being seen and I'm clearly visibly upset by seeing you visibly upset. But he went mute and just starts like, you know, and I'm like, so we start fighting and then he like ended the stream. And then I was like, that's not fair of you to do that because now like I look like the emotional one and people are always going to hop on it and they're going to be like, well, we want to see the stream. And so everyone's taking his side. Anyways, I just felt like that kind of stuff exacerbated like anything or caused a lot of fights in my relationship. IRL was just such a so stressful to stream.
Yeah,
So I'm
it's
like,
stressful.
yeah. So I'm like, PC is like has just been my cozy spot. Even
Yeah.
if IRL would do really well sometimes, it's like, well, do I really want to
It's
get my
not-
backpack
it's not-
on and
it's
go
not worth
or worry about
the
getting
mental
dogs, worry about
toll,
effing, my
yeah.
license plate leaking, driving,
Yeah.
like any of that stuff. So I'm like, it's not worth it. So
And the connection going out is such a big one too.
all the time.
All the time.
Well, anyways, we've been yapping.
Yeah.
How are we on
I mean-
time? Was that great?
Yes, let's go.
All right. Well, huge shout out to our guest, Fiona Fanfan on Twitch and YouTube and everything. Is it just Fanfan? Okay. And then on all yours, Ray__C,
Just for Twitch, and then everything else is like RayC Gaming and stuff like that.
RayC Gaming. And
Yeah.
I'm Fuslie, your host. And if you guys want to be featured on another, one of the questions, you can leave your questions on Discord, Reddit, Instagram, Twitter, or X, whatever. And sorry. And we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Woo, let's go.